Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our live Thursday show here on the Hitting the Field Network. I'm your host, Riley Sheppard. On today's episode, my host and I are evaluating the first week of the NBA season, the midway point of the NFL year, and as always, our Surefire Bets of the week. So don't go anywhere because HTF Bets starts now. It's Halloween week here at the Hitting the Field Network. Riley Sheppard, and as always, my guys Weluka Costa and Laux bringing you our weekly takes in the world of sports. But before we dive into that, I stumbled across a very controversial article the other day, which I thought was perfect for today's show. So Jeff, starting with you, if you were granted with the first overall pick in the Halloween candy draft, which sweet treat are you taking?
Ooh, you know I'm going to have to go with the banana Laffy Taffy. Because it never disappoints.
That
it's
is
juicy.
a hot
That is a hot
It's juicy.
That is-
You can unwrap it perfectly.
Oh my
Laffy
God.
Taffy is the most underrated candy by all. It's like, I don't understand why people don't like it. It is so juicy. It's like literally like the Mamba candies, but like 10 times better.
I don't hate banana Laffy Taffies.
Not even
Not
strawberry.
first
Not even
overall.
strawberry. No Laffy Taffy.
Okay,
Bro, so you mean-
Luca.
No, I'm gonna say Skittles. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm not gonna lie to you. If you, out of every candy in the world, your first thought is banana Laffy Taffy. That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
I'm saying Twix. Twix, maybe.
Fire. It's a
Twix
sick
is a
pick.
plus
Basic.
125 favorite. Anyways, with a week's worth of basketball and football to dive into, I didn't want to waste any more time. So let's get into our beast, best, and bust. Luca, who is the biggest underdog that shined this week?
So I have Devin Vassell and the San Antonio Spurs as my beast for this
absolutely.
week. The Spurs were not supposed to win any games
No.
this year at all.
No,
Not one.
absolutely
To be honest
not.
with you, they lost to DeJounte Murray. They didn't take that many trades in the offseason, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't think they picked anyone that crazy in the draft. But
Jeremy Socan, but he's been
that's what I'm
okay.
saying.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. But, Devin Vassell and the Spurs have actually popped off this season. They started off 3-1 after losing DeJounte Murray, who was their leading scorer last year, and they're obviously their most elite defender.
Yeah.
Vassell's averaging 19.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, and they already beat the 76ers and Timberwolves this season. 76ers and Timberwolves are kind of looking nice. So that's a good
Yeah,
little
but
win to
they
pick up,
lost again with Josh Primo and Vessel.
Exactly, yeah. So, that's my beast. The Spurs, despite having a defensive rating of 118.3, which is so bad.
Yeah.
They have still managed to pick up wins this year. Their next 3 games are against the Bulls, Timberwolves, and Raptors, so we'll see how they play out. And they're already above the Lakers, Mavericks, Clippers, and the Warriors this season in the West. So that's my beast for the week. Vassell went 19 for 14, 22 points, 4 for 8 on threes against the 76ers this past week. So, yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the Western Conference in general because there have been a lot of teams surprising, especially the Trailblazers and Damian Lillard. I had the best this week, and I had to go with Dame Dalla. He's been absolutely insane starting the year. And the Trailblazers, just in general, have been very surprising. They lost yesterday against the Heat, but they were the final undefeated team in the Western Conference.
What time is it, Riley?
It's always Dame time.
It's Dame time, baby.
It's always the Trailblazers. They overhauled their roster last season, trading away McCollum, all these guys. They got Jeremy Grant, who's finally starting to get his footing a little bit. They're 4-1 right now. Jeff, what is the Trailblazers' ceiling this season?
I mean, I feel like their ceiling's always going to be the Western Conference Finals because I don't think they've ever made the step to really go forth, even when they had their full strength a couple seasons ago. So, I mean, I'm saying Western Conference Finals.
Western Conference Final. With Simmons is actually starting to become an MIP candidate. He hit the game winner against the Pelicans the other day. Jeremy Grant hit a game winner against the Lakers. 4-1. A lot of impressive wins, including I don't know if an impressive win includes the Lakers up to this point. But
Sorry, Andrew.
yeah, sorry. But let's talk about the Western Conference really quickly because the Spurs, the Trailblazers, and the Jazz have all been shining early in the season through 5-6 games.
And Grizzlies.
I think a lot of it.
Better than Grizzlies,
A lot of
though.
it
They're
is
nice,
expected the
like,
Grizzlies to be good, but
I was gonna say, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think the biggest surprise out of those teams is definitely the Jazz.
Yeah,
After
no,
losing
absolutely.
Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, I thought there was absolutely no hope in Utah. Even though I don't know anything good that comes out of Utah, to be honest with you. But yeah, I didn't think there was any hope for that franchise. But you know, they're managed to turn it around. They're picking up wins. They have other players shining for them when they need to be. So yeah, I'm actually very impressed with the Jazz.
To those guys, Lauri Markkanen,
I love Lauri Markkanen. I have a soft spot for him, man.
No, he started, his career has been a little rocky, just a lot of ups and downs. Right now he's averaging 22 and 8. Jordan Clarkson has been lights out from beyond the arc, shooting 43% on 8 attempts per game. Jeff, who's been the most surprising in the West?
Like I said, the Memphis Grizzlies, and it's not just because we didn't expect it, it's because they just beat out the Brooklyn Nets in an offensive shootout. They are proving that they can take on star-studded teams even with just 2 or 3 stars on their own squad. With a superstar like Ja Morant, he's personally my favorite player to watch in the NBA right now.
Yeah, for sure.
My all-time favorite is Kobe, and I see that intensity within Ja Morant, which is what I love. So
the mentality to win.
The mentality to win. He's putting Memphis on his back. That's a losing franchise. That's why I wanted a Magic player to come in and do. That's what I think Paulo's doing with the Magic right now. So I'm very proud of Ja Morant for taking that team and making them a winning franchise again. And I think they're the most surprising team because I think they're going to come out swinging for the rest of the season.
You know what isn't surprising? Your bust for this week, Jeff. Let's hear it.
John Reese Plumlee. My man.
Yeah.
Why? Why did there be a bust 2 times in the span of 4 weeks? So let me tell you why. We lose against Louisville. Crappy performance. Just absolute horrid performance. And then we move on, and then we go to visit ECU, who we haven't lost to in a minute. We won our 7 out of the 8 last matchups. We haven't lost against ECU in a while. Last Big 12 matchup of the season, man's throwing interceptions. 3 interceptions, 1 fumble loss, and just overall terrible play at the QB position.
Gave up college game day.
He gave up college game day, as you said, Luka, and that's the main reason we have a grudge against him, because that was the first time we had college game day back here with a ranked Cincinnati, a ranked UCF. It would have been a crazy matchup. Yeah. We would have a UCF women's soccer tournament happening. We'd have the Cincinnati game happening. We'd have everything happening all at UCF with college game day here. Guess what? We don't have it anymore. And that's because the wide receiver turned QB has not promised or produced on any of the stats or, promises that he gave to us in the early season of playing smart, playing mobile, and just things like that. How are you guys feeling about his performance as a player?
I'll let you go.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just so I've been to 2 of the UCF games this year, and both games I can't even remember. I think one was SMU, and he played good in that game. He looked fun to watch.
Bad defense though.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So my only opinion is based off what I've seen at the games, and he looks like a fun quarterback to watch. But then he goes and, like you said, he loses to ECU. It's like, dude, come on. Are you kidding me?
You have
right now?
7 total touchdowns the week before,
Right.
and then lose against ECU.
Come on.
Listen to his 2022 season stats. Out of all the QBs in the league right now, he's 38th in QBR with a 69 QBR. Not good.
Get him.
6 interceptions, tied for 77th in the league. Not good.
Get him.
Touchdowns 11, tied for 62nd in the league. Not good.
Get him.
And then yards, tied for 30th in the league. Not
Get
good.
him.
So Riley, what do you think we go from here? Do you burn the red shirt of Tommy C, or do you throw Mikey Keene back in there because he's a proven freshman? He came in last year, beat Florida. What do you think?
I just think it's too hard to bench somebody who just, like I said, just had 7 touchdowns the week before and then doesn't play that great against ECU. I don't think you bench him just yet. If he has another bad game against Cincinnati, I could see Tommy C coming in. Honestly, I think if they lose against Cincinnati and Rice Plumlee has a bad game, what do you have to lose the rest of the season? You're not competing for a conference championship.
But why do you want to lose that opportunity? So if we start him against Cincinnati and we lose, we're done for the season.
I think it's kind of tough to just throw Mikey Keene to the world.
Right,
Let's see,
what I mean.
first game.
We did it last season, though. We did it last season. He literally beat out UF in the bowl game. I know they want to make the excuse they didn't use all their first-team players, but he came in, took a UCF team that had Dylan Gabriel, an electric QB at our position, leave a mid-season after selling all of his merch, doing all that great things. Mikey Keene comes in as a true freshman and leads us to a bowl game win against Florida, one of the most decisive wins in our history, and we're talking about Mikey Keene in this way right now.
No, and it was
He's
surprising.
a true freshman.
It was surprising to see him Rice Plumlee even beat him out after Keene. I mean, being thrown in the fire as a true freshman, that's tough, and he stepped up. He had a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but I don't think any of Mikey Keene's lows from last season were as bad as Rice Plumlee's lows from this season.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. The consistency. I mean, that's the toughest thing. But that's all the time we have for this segment. We're going to toss to a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because Ty Patton is joining us and giving us his top 5 ad drops this week heading into fantasy football. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to HTF Hot Takes. I'm Johnny Jackson. We've got Emily Aaron to my right. I'm Weluka Costa to my left.
Hello and welcome to our segment of Hot Ones. I'm here with Noah Kemper and Grant
Wheeler.
Yep, I knew that. Grant Wheeler.
Listen, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just can't ever argue against LeBron. I watched him my whole life.
I've been going back and forth with this debate for a long time. It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Whatever she wanted. I would wake up in a maid costume for Doja Cat.
Brutal.
Jeffrey Laux, no question.
Richie, I would give it to Richie.
It is not Richie. It is not Richie.
No, it's Jeff.
Richie's pronouns are he, they, because he cannot be him.
What?
Oh, wait a second.
I'm gonna have to also agree and say Jeff. He always is spiffy.
It might be Cameron. Cameron's had some good fits.
Out of the women, Norelli always dresses really, really cute.
Oh, that went so awful.
It's basketball.
College football, I think, is the best sport to watch.
If you don't like soccer, it's because you suck at it.
I think college football is the best.
Thanks for watching.
We actually have Batman, Bruce Wayne. Oh, I almost said
Banner.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Ty, how's it going over there?
Ty. It's for sure, definitely Bruce Wayne. I don't want to hear none of this Ty talk anymore. But it's not going too well, Riley. It's not. We had a very poor game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, as most of you know, Batman is a huge Buccaneers fan. We advocate for Tom Brady. But no, it has been a very sad week in all of the NFL.
I guess you learn something new every day. I didn't know that Bruce Wayne was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Oh, big time.
I mean, Gotham don't have a team, so.
Yeah, that's true. Bruce Wayne, please tell us your top 5 ad drops heading into week 8 of fantasy football. Crazy that we're already heading into week 8, but Bruce Wayne, take it away.
I know, right? We only have 1 week left until we're mid-season, which is wild to me. But I have 3 ads and I have 2 drops today. To start up on the top here, I have Gus Edwards clocking in 43.7% ownership rate. This guy had a absolutely great week. 66 yards, I believe, 2 touchdowns, puts up 18.6 points right after J.K. Dobbins gets put on, I want to say it's not season-ending IR. I want to say it's a 4 to 6 week injured reserve. This guy's just a power back who can catch the ball, right? So get him in open space, this guy's going to make plays. I think he's going to be huge going forward, although hopefully not against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. I'd rather not see him play too well. But Gus Edwards is just looking phenomenal at the moment. I mean, that is a whole snack on your bench right now. Just go ahead and toss him in.
Yes, sir.
Second, though, we're going to be looking up top, right up here, to Cade Otton, the tight end for the Bucs. And normally I would not be putting any tight ends on this list just because tight ends aren't really going to pull that many points out of it. But Cade Otton this past week put up 10.4, and Tom Brady just lost Gronk, right? He's not really going to be trusting of his tight ends, especially with Cam and Brate now on IR for a potential neck injury concussion. So I think this trust that he's starting to build with Cade Otton builds more and more. Cade Otton is a pass-catching tight end that can sit down and block. I hate to make comparisons really early, but it reminds me a lot of Gronk's play.
Don't say that.
I thought you were going to say George Kittle, honestly, but that's,
Hey, you know what? To each their own. I'm thinking he's looking like Gronk. It may just be because Brady's throwing the ball.
Over there?
But I'm loving it. 10.4 points this past week, and I think it's only going to get better. And then third on this list, right here, my last ad of the day is going to be Chuba Hubbard. I believe he has about 33.7% ownership. Listen, Christian McCaffrey gets traded. I knew this was coming. I told Luca like 2 weeks ago. I knew this was coming. He didn't. I'm just going to say that out loud just so everybody knows. But now you got Chuba Hubbard. He and Deontay Foreman were supposed to be the 2 guys split backfield in Carolina. All right? Deontay Foreman ends up getting, I believe it was 56.4% of the carries, and then Chuba Hubbard the latter. And Deontay Foreman had success on about 22% of those, whereas Chuba Hubbard had success on over 60%. I think this guy comes in this coming week, and he is number 1 by a mile. I think Deontay Foreman maybe gets, 6 carries in the game, maybe. But I think Chuba Hubbard is that leading back in Carolina. And with that strong run offense that they've always had with Christian McCaffrey and him being a pass catcher, I mean, it's another one of those Gus Edwards type situations. You get him in open field, he's going to play amazing, and I love it. I'm very, very excited to see that. But then again, it also happened last year, so it feels a little bit cheesy, like it's a bit of a repeat. But we're going to start working our way down to the drops. First one right here, unfortunately for all our Colts fans in the studio, is Matt Ryan.
The two of them.
This guy stinks. I'm sorry. This guy's bad. I wanted him to be so good moving on from Atlanta, but he's just not. He cannot complete. And they're replacing him with Sam Ehlinger, the Texas guy. And, like, I like Sam Ehlinger, don't get me wrong, but when you have Matt Ryan, the seasoned veteran who's made a Super Bowl appearance, he should be performing well, especially with the talent he has around him. So it's very unfortunate to see. And then passing it off to the very last one, unfortunately for me, it's Russell Gage, one of the Tampa Bay receivers. But with Cade Otton coming up on my list, somebody's got to come down. And Julio Jones is coming back from injury either this week or any week now. So as soon as Julio's back, as soon as Cade Otton's starting to bring up, Russell Gage, I think, is the guy who kind of sinks down to the bottom. I would say if you have him on your bench or in your starting lineup, which I feel very sorry for you if you do, I would say go ahead and drop him.
No, and I actually don't disagree with either of the drops, Matt Ryan, poor Colts fans. But Cade Otton is the one that I do want to bring up. I really like how he's played the last couple weeks. He really started stepping it up in that game against the Falcons. Tom Brady's been trusting him a lot. But this Buccaneers offense just stinks. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in my Surefire pick of the week because I do have this Thursday night game as my bet. But the offense just cannot produce. The pass blocking has been one of the worst in the league. And the only reliable receiver that Brady has had is Mike Evans. I think Cade Otton.
Did you see his catch? Is he even reliable? Sorry, catch.
That's true.
His fumble? Whatever you want to call it.
How do you trust this Buccaneers offense? That's my only question, Ty.
So I would like to say, being Bruce Wayne, this philanthropist, billionaire that I am, I have Tom Brady in speed dial. So I was talking to him just like a day ago.
Oh, of course.
He told me, from what I have heard, he was like, some of these guys we got on this team stink, but don't worry, we're getting them out of here, and we're starting up something new. And Julio Jones is coming back. That's what he said over the phone. Over the phone, Julio Jones is coming back. Be ready for that. And the pass blocking has been extraordinarily stinky lately. Like, we have Ryan Jensen and Aaron Stinney both go out. It sucks. I hate it. We have Robert Hainsey, and on left guard we have rookie Luke Gadicki blocking on the insides, and I'm not a huge fan of it, if we're being completely honest with each other. But I gotta love it.
Just to put it in perspective, I saw this stat really quick. Before I want to hear Jeff's opinion. The Buccaneers offense last season, in the first 7 games, they had a 44% red zone conversion. This season, 24%. How do you trust an offense that has only been averaging 16 points per game? How do you trust a tight end, especially?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I mean,
you should have said Bruce.
You're the Bucs fan,
Bruce, hey, Bruce.
Come on,
Look
Bruce.
over here, bud. Hey. All right. Trusting it, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Let me put this in a bit of a situation. When Tom Brady first came to Tampa, we would end up in these third down situations, these late game comeback scenarios that if we had Jameis Winston, we'd end up losing by 3 touchdowns. But as soon as Tom Brady comes in, like, the whole mindset in Tampa changes. The whole game can be completely flipped upside down with a snap of your fingers when you have Brady. I think it's a lot like the original season we saw when he first got here. The Bucs didn't start off too hot. They had to kind of work with what they had. Once they found their rhythm, they went off. They were up and going all the way, and they ended up going undefeated all the way through the Super Bowl from week, I want to say, 12 and on. I think we're looking at something a little bit similar here. Maybe not a full Super Bowl run, although I'd like to see it. I just think he needs to find the rhythm with this new group of guys he has.
Bruce, I think all your visits to Gotham Asylum are starting to finally get to your head. What are you talking about? What are you saying right now?
Hey, actually, Batman, I like your picks, and it's because I actually made all these moves this week, and I've had Cade Otton on my list because he's a 4th-round tight end. He's an all-around type of player, like you said, and it's a tight end hungry league right now. If you don't have Kittle, Kelsey, and Waller hasn't been performing, if you don't have like the 3 or 4 top tight ends, you're in a bad shape right now because Njoku just got ruled out. There's multiple injuries in the tight end room, so I like that pick. Gus Edwards, if you haven't got him already, you already missed out because everyone's picking him up. That man is going to be a stud. Chuba Hubbard, I disagree with that a little bit. I picked him up just because I think he has potential. But Foreman is a goal line running back, and he hits a lot of touchdown shares down the end zone. So bigger running back, going to be used a lot. Matt Ryan, That's on me. I had him as ad last week. Terrible choice. Terrible choice.
But it made sense in the moment.
No,
Listen, Grant, what's going on with your boys? You guys paid them $40 million. $40 million. And he's playing like that? Crazy.
The clouds in Gotham are clouding his judgment, man.
And Russell Gage, I have him on a couple of my rosters. Yeah. I wouldn't drop him yet, though. That Bucks offense will bounce back. I have confidence in your team, Batman.
And really quick, before we run out of time, I just want to go through our results from last week.
You guys seen this?
And I did speak it into existence a little bit. Luka had the upset, dethroning Austin Walker as the only undefeated team left. Brought Austin Walker to 6-1. And Luka, I mean, maybe that's some momentum going forward. What do you think about your team now?
I'm not gonna lie, my team isn't bad. I have Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara. Like, I swear my team isn't horrible. I don't understand what's going on, man.
So that win brought Luka to 2-5 on the year. Austin Walker is sitting at 6-1 now. Jeff Laux sitting at 5-2, pretty respectable record. And then I'm leading one of the divisions at 6-1. So that, and going ahead to this week, I'm going to be taking on the Combine host Cameron Forcier in week 8. Jeff and Luka are taking on each other, so there's a little bets matchup.
You over.
Maybe Luka can pick up another upset win, and then
Don't bet on it.
Don't bet on it.
I wouldn't bet on it.
And then Austin Walker is taking on main show host Hannah Jo Groves to try to forget about last week's upset loss to Luka. That is all the time we have for this segment. We're going to toss you another quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have our Surefire Bets of the week. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and Bruce Wayne was kind enough on his busy schedule to stick around for his Surefire Bet of the week, and I don't know if he's 1-0 or if Ty Patton is 1-0. Bruce, what's your Surefire Bet of the week?
So we're going to start out with my show, but Bruce Wayne is definitely 1-0. I don't know who Ty is, but that guy probably stinks. Bruce Wayne is 1-0 and about to go 2-0. Top better in Gotham City. We're hitting on the Giants money line at plus 134. We got the Seattle Seahawks home against the Giants, but the Seahawks are kinda buns, and the Giants they've been on a stretch. I don't even know what to say. Who would have ever thought the Giants would look this good? But here we are, and they're 6-1. I do not see a world in which the Giants walk into Seattle and get blown out.
Not even in Gotham?
Sorry?
Not even in Gotham?
Did you have the insider?
No, not even in Gotham. Not even in Gotham.
Wow.
Not even.
Fair.
Not even in Gotham City. Is betting legal in Gotham City?
That's a great question that I'm not going to answer for legal purposes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Jeff, what is your Surefire Bet of the week?
Surefire Bet, we're bringing it back to MLS because we have a powerhouse matchup against the NYFC Football Club and the Philadelphia Union. And I chose these guys because this is going to be a crazy matchup. If you like quality soccer and you might not enjoy MLS, you actually enjoy this MLS matchup. NYFC has Maximiliano Morales, who's been insane this season. Heber, who's been insane this season. Sean Johnson is the youngest goalkeeper to do it. He is doing it every single season. He is a beast. And I see Philadelphia honestly taking this one because they absolutely railed teams this season. They were like at least 15 points above the top of the league right now. And when they're heading into the playoffs, they're serious. They rested their players three games heading into the playoffs, so they all have their rest. I think Mikel Ure, Daniel Gazdag, and a lot of those guys like Kai Wagner and Jose Martinez are going to take care of business. Luka, NHL.
Bro, listen, I do it all. What can I say? I'm I'm an open book, So this week we got the
2-5.
5-2. Get it right. Anyways, this week, I'm actually the only one positive on this show, by the way. That's all I got. I'm literally the only person. So anyway, we got the Senators at Panthers, NHL Saturday at 4 p.m. The Tkachuk brothers face off. Matthew Tkachuk and Brady Tkachuk are going head-to-head this Saturday. Usually when they go against each other, it's a pretty good game. So hopefully we're in for a win today. This is probably for second place in the division. Both teams have 4 wins on the season. Panthers have 1 overtime loss, while the Senators don't. They have 2 regular season losses. Both of us lead the team in points. And Brady leads with 10, but Matthew trails close behind with 9. Senators on a 4-game win streak, and they're second in the league in goals scored. So this matchup is supposed to be pretty crazy, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to take the Senators. Even, Doug, I know that kills you being a Panthers fan in the booth. It's okay, man. I still love you. I was going to go for the Panthers at first, but just looking at the numbers, it just does not add up. 4 games in a row. It's just super hard to bet against the Panthers right now. Panthers are at home, though, and they are notorious for playing better at home. Yeah, so I know Gotham, there's no hockey team, but, you know, I heard the football field actually exploded in Gotham, believe it or not. Is that true, Bruce? Is that
This
true?
actually did happen. I can confirm, but luckily I was on the scene.
On the scene to stop what? Come on, it blew up. Come on, Bruce.
To stop terrible picks like yours, Luca, dude.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Right, go ahead.
And I know, Bruce, I know you're a die-hard Buccaneers fan, so I don't think you're going to like my Surefire bet of the week. And when I actually made the graphic behind me, the spread was completely different. The spread has been going all over the place. But as of right now, the Buccaneers are actually favored by 2 against the Ravens tonight.
Insane.
Which I cannot believe. Both teams need wins. They're both desperate for wins for different reasons. The Buccaneers coming off a loss against the Panthers, which they looked horrible in, and a loss against the Steelers, who they looked horrible against. But the Ravens, they are just the 3rd team in the past 10 years to have led by double digits in each of their first 7 games, and they're only 4-3. They could easily be 6-1, 5-2, 7-0 right now, but they've not been able to close games. 3 of Tampa Bay's last 4 opponents have rushed for at least 150 yards, and now they're going up against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who has rushed for 510 yards on his own this season. Baltimore has rushed for at least 150 yards in their last 6 games.
Cat in the Hat, will you and the kids be watching this game this Thursday night?
I will most definitely be, and I will most definitely be taking the Baltimore Ravens.
Look, they beat us last week, but it was on some BS if we're being honest.
So
These
I would like to point out,
Bruce Wayne, what do you think?
I just received word through a little walkie right here, right? I was wondering why they made me wear my gauntlets, my utility belt and all this. They said I'm on the job right after this. I got to go put you in Arkham Asylum because you're insane. So
You think the Buccaneers have
you may be
any
watching the
chance
game on
against the Baltimore
on your
Ravens?
TV at home in Orlando, but I will be at the game in Tampa watching because that is
stopping
my
any football
team,
fields from
and they're
scoring, that's
most
for sure.
definitely beating the Raiders.
And I don't think
Ravens
you
tonight.
being at the game is going to stop the Buccaneers from losing.
Bribe the refs. That's what the Ravens did against us. Just bribe the refs. I promise you.
I'm Bruce Wayne. I got the money.
What do the Buccaneers have to do to stop Lamar?
To stop Lamar,
They can't. There's nothing they can do.
Lamar
Lamar is a very
outrushing the entire Buccaneers
between the
roster
numbers
right now.
kind of guy. Lamar is a between the numbers kind of guy. Gus Edwards and his passing on the outside, Rashad Bateman, Dennis Duvernay, those are his outside guys. If you can hold up with Vita Vea, Will Golston, Logan Hall, if you want to put him there, and then Joe Tryon and our linebackers, if we can hold that middle of the field, solid, absolutely solid. I think we can hold him if we can keep that middle of the field. I think if we try to press too far inward or too far outward, I think he's going to run the table. But I have faith in this Bucs defense that they'll be able to hold that soft spot where he likes to run.
Well, you shouldn't.
I'm smelling a Bucs win.
You're smelling a Bucs. I
smelling a Bucs win.
really hope not.
The Bucs,
because
and really, real quick, the Buccaneers literally lost to the Steelers and my Panthers. So I don't see any faith in them. So go ahead, take it away.
I don't know what to say after what just happened.
I know what you can say after that. I have a great idea. So go ahead, Coda Sock out in the hat.
Without my hat, I am just a garden variety 6'2" talking cat. That is all the time we have for this episode of HTF Bets. For Bruce Wayne, for Weluka Costa, and for Jeffrey Laux, I am the Cat in the Hat. We will see you all next week.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay running.